In this next video, we're going to look briefly at pivot tables. Now, the key component of a pivot table is the fact that it is a table. It's a table that's on steroids. And we're going to look at that briefly in the next couple of minutes. Once again, we're looking at a file here. This top row, row number 4, contains our field names, our header row. In database talk, they are called field names. What we're going to do is click on the Insert tab. Next, click on Pivot Table. We're going to insert a pivot table. Excel will guess the range of the pivot table. And we're going to click OK. It's in sheet number 4. We're going to call them pivots. Now, we know that we've created a pivot table, or the beginning of it, because we have the boxes up on top here that's saying pivot table fields. These are our field names from our table. And how a pivot table works is that you basically drag and drop those fields into one of these 4 boxes here. Box here in the rows, the columns, this box right here for filters. But lastly, the values box. The values box, like in our drag fields there where we're performing numeric calculations, if we're counting a field, or if we're summing a field, averaging a field, those fields go into the values box. So we have our fields listed from our table. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the city field, drag and drop it into rows. These are our various cities. Next, I'm going to take the contract increase field, move it down to values. And I'm going to do that again. I'm going to take contract increase and drag and drop it once again into value. So we have 2 sum of contract increases. There's 2 of them. We're going to change that around a bit. We're going to start by going into cell C4 within our pivot table. We're going to right click and we're going to go to value field settings. This will allow us to change the field name. We're going to name that field name average contract. So we've changed the name. We want to average, right now it's being summed. We want to average that field. We're going to click next. We could hit OK, but we want to do a little bit of formatting here. So we're going to format our numbers by clicking on Number Format. Next, we can change the numbers to these various, or the fields to these various settings, but we're going to click on Currency. Instead of 2 decimal places, we're going to click this down arrow and make it 0 decimal places. Click OK. We've done our formatting. Next, we're going to come into this field right here, this cell, B4. We're going to right click, Value Field Settings. Right now that field is being summed, we're going to change just the name. We're going to leave it as summation. And we're going to change the name to total contracts. So we've changed the name. We want to reformat the number format. So we're going to click on Number Format, Currency, decimal places. We're going to make it 0. Click OK. Click OK again. And we have our pivot table where we have our cities, the summation of the contracts and also the average sales of the contracts by city. Beauty of a pivot table is its flexibility. If I wanted to find the sales, the total sales, and also the average increases, if I wanted to find out that summary by zip code, what I could do is come over here where we have city, we have our cross, hold down the left mouse and drag and drop it out of the box. We still have our totals, but if we wanted to look in terms of zip, take our field, drag and drop it here, and these are our various zips. I could go in and take my cities, drag and drop them here, and we have our cities by zip. And once again, if we just wanted to look at city only, take my field, hold down my left mouse, drag and drop it out of the box. Once again, we only have a few records here, but it would work just as easily if we had thousands of records. The key is the underlying table, and the underlying table must be clean. So in other words, for the field names, if we have sales, which are numeric, they all have to be numeric. Can't be putting text in a numeric field. In terms of our dates, for the fields, they all have to be dates. We can't have names or just plain numeric numbers. Once again, just briefly on pivot tables, they're tremendously powerful. Thank you.